Guten Morgen and welcome to the week of the 1st of June, and this week we're going to be talking about relationships with family and friends. Some of you will have logged into the live lesson this week, so this will serve as a little bit of revision, or for those of you who didn't manage it along, hopefully we'll explain some of the tasks that we got up to and the ones that are involved in the assignment for this week. Okay? So first of all, how are you? Wie geht's? What I'd like you to be able to do is that every time that we meet or every time that you come into the classroom, I'd like you to be able to express how you're feeling that day. So the things that you could say, if you read from left to right, mir geht's, and then prima, sehr gut, gut, nicht schlecht, nicht so gut, oder furchtbar. Okay, all the different ways that you could be. And then if you want to give a reason for that state that you're in, then is because ich bin glücklich, ich bin krank, ich bin müde, ich bin gestresst, ich bin traurig, ich bin entspannt oder ich bin begeistert. Okay? So today I would say mir geht's sehr gut, denn ich bin begeistert. I'm excited to see you all for the live lesson. So your first task is to try and record yourself saying a full sentence, telling me how you are and why that is. And to be polite, you should also ask me back. Und du? Wie geht's? So next we're going to look at mix and match ways we can construct sentences to talk about how we find different people in our family. So you've got different categories there, the subject and verb, so the ich finde, but it could be du findest, sie es findet, whatever. And then you've got all the different people, so they're called direct objects, and that's because they're the people you're talking about. Then you've got quantifiers, so the words like very, quite, and so on. And then you've got your describing words, your adjectives at the end. So you work from left to right, picking something from each category to be able to form your sentence. So first up, what I want you to do with this is I'm going to read you out 6 sentences, and I want you to try and write down in German what you think it is that I'm saying. If you like, it would be good for you to have maybe a printout of this slide and highlight it as we go and do a different colour for each sentence. That way it'll be quicker for you. Okay, so we're ready to listen. Nummer 1. Ich finde meine Familie total freundlich. Ich finde meine Familie total freundlich. Ich finde meine Familie total freundlich. Number 2. Ich finde meinen Onkel ziemlich launisch. Ich finde meinen Onkel ziemlich launisch. Number 3. Ich finde meinen Vater sehr laut. Ich finde meinen Vater sehr laut. Ich finde meinen Vater sehr laut. Nummer 4. Ich finde meine Mutter unglaublich kreativ. Ich finde meine Mutter unglaublich kreativ. Ich finde meine Mutter unglaublich kreativ. Nummer 5. Ich finde meine Schwester gar nicht höflich. Ich finde meine Schwester gar nicht höflich. Ich finde meine Schwester gar nicht höflich. And the last one, Nummer 6. Ich finde meine Freundin nicht so ruhig. Ich finde meine Freundin nicht so ruhig. Ich finde meine Freundin nicht so ruhig. Okay, so that's it for your listening. But if you look at your tasks on your sheet, you also have to make up some sentences based on that same vocabulary grid there. So just like the sentences that I've just said, but you make them up about your opinions about your family. Now these don't have to be true, so go for saying whatever you like. Okay. For this task, it's again based on that same grid that you looked at in the last two tasks, but this time I want you simply to choose any four from this slide to translate into English. Okay? Again, if you need to, you can look back at the grid to find the meanings. This slide is really just to draw your attention to something that you will need for one of the tasks at the end of your worksheet for this week. Really what I want you to do is to study each of the sentences and try and look and see what they've got in common and see if you can notice some of the grammar features. Okay, you'll see that each sentence is very similar but has some details that are different in each one. Okay, so first of all, look out for the similarity. So, ich verstehe mich gut mit meinem Bruder, weil ich ihn sehr sportlich finde. Hopefully, you will see that all the sentences are starting off the same way. Ich verstehe mich gut mit. Okay, when you do start to see changes, it's after the word mit. Sometimes it's meinem, sometimes it's meiner. Okay, it could also be meinen, but we don't see that here. Try and think about the reasons for that by looking at the word that comes after the meinem or the meiner and see if you can draw some conclusions about that. Then after the person, the direct object, there's usually a comma, or there's always a comma, I should say, and then there's the word weil, okay? And that's the same for each one. After that, there's quite a lot of difference, and then hopefully you'll see that they all end with the same kind of word, okay, which is in this case finde. So it's a verb. So what's happening is the verb is going to the end. Okay. German word order is quite complicated and requires quite a lot of studying. But for now, if you just look and try and spot the patterns, there'll be more on that in a future lesson. Okay, so the next task is to do with focusing your concentration on a longer passage. Before we did just sentences at a time. Now you're going to see a text, but I'm going to read something that is similar but not exactly the same. So on the text that you see, I want you to highlight or circle the words that are changed and then make a note of whatever the new word is that I say. Okay, first time through, I'm just going to read it exactly as it is here, just so you get used to the sounds, so it's easier for you to spot the differences. So it says, Hallo, ich heiße Nadine. Ich bin 14 Jahre alt und ich bin sehr intelligent und sehr kreativ. Ich wohne in Kassel. Kassel ist in der Mitte von Schottland. In meiner Familie gibt es meinen Vater, meine Mutter und meine 2 Brüder. Ich verstehe mich gut mit meinen Eltern. Sie sind sehr freundlich und geduldig. Ich verstehe mich nicht gut mit meinem Bruder, weil ich ihn egoistisch finde. Okay, so now I'm going to read it with the changes. I'm only going to read it once, but obviously you can rewind it and replay it as often as you need to. Hallo, ich heiße Nadine. Ich bin 15 Jahre alt und ich bin sehr intelligent und sehr nett. Ich wohne in Kassel. Kassel ist in der Mitte von Deutschland. In meiner Familie gibt es meinen Vater, meine Mutter und meine Schwester und meinen Bruder. Ich verstehe mich gut mit meinen Eltern. Meine Eltern sind sehr freundlich und sympathisch. Ich verstehe mich gut mit meinem Bruder, weil ich ihn nett finde. So this is your last task. It's quite a tricky one, but it's a very important one because it helps you to recognise different features of the language and also to think about how sentences are constructed and what the correct word order looks like. So you have 6 sentences at the top of the page. They're all scrambled into the wrong order. What you're being asked to do is to have a look at the different columns and try and put the words that fit that category into the correct space, thereby also putting the things in the correct order. So, okay, this one has got a little bit of information filled in just to give you a bit of a starting point in case you're unsure how to go about this. In the first one, it's given you weil as a conjunction, so if you have a look at the other sentences, hopefully you'll see that there's similar conjunctions in each of them. And it also gives you an example in the other sentences of at least one feature. See if they can help you and look back at your grid that you used right at the start of the lesson, the one about talking about how you find different people in your family. That's going to help you try and work out which bits should go where. Okay? Good luck. Look forward to seeing you soon.